Good morning, everybody. Well, good morning. You don't know if it's morning or not, but it's morning if you're live watching us right now. Good morning. This is the Guitars and Gear podcast / YouTube live podcast thing. This is a podcast where we explore the world of guitars, gear, and artists from a player's perspective, as well as a good bit of off-topic rambling. Good morning, everybody. We're a little different today. If you are live on YouTube, welcome. Well, obviously I don't think anybody here yet, but when you do come in and watch this again, welcome. And good morning, Janae. How are you?
Good morning. I am calling remotely.
You are calling. This is a very, yeah, so we should say that, huh?
Yeah.
This podcast is going to be a little bit different because Dave is not here. Janae is remote. So we had some family, maybe emergency before.
It was.
But yeah, so now we're just so that's why last week's podcast and YouTube has been taking a little bit of a hiatus for about a week or so. We've been dealing with some family type issues and everything's good now. So we're good to go, but Janae is having to take over for me and kind of play nurse a little bit.
But it's fun. We got to watch some Murdoch Mysteries together last night. So.
Ooh, so if anybody who doesn't know what Murdoch Mysteries is, can you fill people in? Because I never heard of it before either.
It's a Canadian detective mystery show. It's very cool. It's very laid back. It doesn't have a lot of blood, guts, gore, all the weird stuff, but it's just a lot of solving.
So would you say it's kind of like the Canadian version of Matlock?
No, because they're young and vibrant people.
Oh, okay.
Old and stuffy.
So maybe Matlock with pretty people?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Pretty people with an accent sometimes. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Pretty cool.
There you go.
So,
that's not bad.
So we stayed up late watching that.
Oh, cool. Very nice. And I'm putting my watch back on. I don't know why I'm doing that now, but it was charging and it's at 100%. So I figured, what the heck? So for today, we're not going to stray too far from the standard, I guess, formula, you could say, if there is one. But we'll try to cover all the bases today. We do have a lot of news. I had to eliminate a bunch just for time and sanity, I guess, sake. But I do have a bunch of news to cover today. And Janae is going to just kind of do her thing, right? Whatever that
may be. I usually just sit there and chat.
Yeah. So I have not been home in steadily for about a week and a half or so.
It's been a little over a week.
Yeah, so I haven't been playing a whole lot. I've been playing guitar a whole lot, haven't been messing around with stuff a whole lot. So my YouTube videos that we've been kind of doing have taken a little bit of a halt, but they will be back. Hopefully in the next few days, I'll have another video posted. I'm going to do and I'll tell you what the next one's going to be about the Rev Generator 120 Mark III, and that will be coming hopefully soon. It's going to be kind of an overview video first. And then we'll get into some of the, the more nuances of it. And I also do want to do a capture with the quad cortex of it. That'll be cool. And just kind of go from there. So that's what's coming up on the YouTube channel side of things. So on the podcast, we still haven't. No, I don't think so, Janae. You tell me. I don't think we figured out a solution to our what we're going to fill in the time slot. Did we? Or didn't we? I don't know. Because
it's too early.
Yeah, I know. I think we were going to do all the the top guitar players that we had in our a bunch of the guitar players that we picked in our top guitar
top
solo
10 or whatever.
Yeah, I think we were going to do that and then pick their best albums maybe, or or we were going to do best instrumental album of like the last, I don't know, however many years or something like that. So I don't really remember where we were going to go with that. So,
well, I know we said something about the albums,
yeah.
like of those guitarists, which album did they have that was like the best? But then we kind of went off track of
Yeah.
what we were going to discuss about them. So
Yeah, I think so too. So, well, yeah, we'll get in. We'll
figure it out.
Yeah. Obviously, we're not we can't make it up our minds one way or the other. We'll come up with something, or if we need anything. So, I guess you guys can let us know. Guitars and I should put that on our on the screen there,
Sure.
our email. So I'll do that for next Sunday. But our email is guitars and gear, like spell it out, guitarsandgear19@gmail.com. So you guys can let us know if you think we even need anything or whether this is just enough stuff to get you through your morning or to get you through your day. So let's see, what else do we want to do, Janae?
I don't know.
Because you're sitting in a room not here. Yeah,
I'm sitting in a box with a stuffed bunny.
So, yeah.
Drinking bad coffee.
So I don't know if anybody, I would usually look over there, and Janae is usually sitting right there, and she's not there. So that kind of sucks. When somebody's not in the room with you and you're trying to do a podcast and not being able to see that individual, like their new, like the body language and, all that kind of stuff, it's very difficult to relate to one another when you're separated like that. So, but we've been doing pretty good with it, with Dave being remote so often. So, yeah. So why don't we get right into the news? And I don't know if Janae, you want to take over for Dave on that, or you want me to do it?
No, because I got to be quiet.
Oh, that's right.
Mom is sleeping.
That's right. Okay. So, well, let's do some news. I don't know if I can fill Dave's shoes here. And now it's time for the news.
All right.
Was that any good?
That was good.
Was
it?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to leave this screen. Well, it's the same screen. I just have an overlay over top. So this is our desktop view. And our first article. So there's a couple auctions that happened, which is guitar auctions. We talk about those every once in a while, and they do come up. So the ESP guitar, and Janae, you'll like this, used by Kirk Hammett in Metallica's One video.
Nice.
Yeah, has sold at auction. So this went up for auction, and I saw this a week or so ago. We didn't have a podcast, so I didn't cover it, or nobody covered it, at least on our channel, obviously. Yeah. But Kirk Hammett's ESP 400 series S-Type, used on the famous Metallica One music video, is up for auction. It comes signed with all the relevant certification to prove it is, in fact, the same one. And somebody did actually go on to, there's pictures of the guitar, obviously, all over the place. And like for the auction pictures. And an individual went and scrutinized the video and did verify that the wood grain on the guitar does match.
Wow. Well, I guess you have to do that.
Right, yeah. So if you were in doubt, somebody has also verified that. So, whether that's the actual guitar you get, but, it I'm sure it is. So, wow, what was that?
What?
There's a lot of noise.
Sorry, I touched my microphone with my hand, moving my hair out of my face.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that's really loud. So the One video, for anybody who doesn't know, is based on a 1939 book by Dalton Trumbo, and the subsequent 1971 film Johnny Got His Gun. One by Metal Giants was a huge hit for the band. The accompanying video was on constant rotation on MTV back when MTV actually showed music videos.
Yeah, long time ago.
Yeah, featured Kirk Hammett playing that ESP 400 series type guitar. So it's I guess you could say it is pretty much a serious piece of Metallica history. Whoever, that, because that was a huge video for them. And
it was very, I don't know, it touched
it
a
was
lot of people.
it was
So
weird
it was
though,
good. But
So
it was good.
yeah. Anyway, the guitar, by the time that I was going to, like, if we would have did a podcast last week, then I would have told you. The guitar has already reached $26,000 with the auction still going.
Just out of our reach.
Yeah, way out of our reach, actually. So let's talk about it. It has 3 single-coiled pickups in a Strat-style configuration with a black Floyd Rose trim, natural finish, and a rosewood fretboard. And little else is known about the guitar, but it could be all stock underneath that. Who knows? Not sure what kind of pickups they are. But if you heard the video, it sounds pretty good. So, or, that song. All right. So for the, based on what the music video was about, the video is and this particular instrument are a huge part of the band's history, as we said a couple times. So if you get the chance, I would recommend reading the anti-war book Johnny Got His Gun, as the whole premise is terrifying and brings home how terrible wars can be. I, like many others that year, read the book off the back of this track and has stuck with me for many years. So I would suggest, anybody read it. I didn't read it. Maybe I should. So ultimately on April 12th, about 6 days ago, it sold for $112,500. Wow. So yeah, so it really went up, and so cool.
Impressive.
Yeah. So yeah, so so you can check out the video and see what somebody got, but it's pretty cool, and it's signed by Kirk Hammett, and yeah, I would, for $112,000, you just probably want to put it in a case and display it or store it or something like that.
Don't forget to insure it.
Yeah, for at least $112,000. So yeah, so that's that. Oh, by the way, Janae, do you have any news, or are we just
No?
Okay,
it's all you then.
Okay, no problem.
I tried looking up to see if we won those guitars, but never.
Yeah,
I can't find any location of even saying who won them.
Okay. All right. So next up, as you guys can see, one of Eddie Van Halen's Frankenstrats sold at auction for $50,000. So he gifted the Frankenstrat to Mountain's Leslie West in the mid '80s. So it's not your kind of standard Strat. It looks like kind of like a manufactured version, like not one that Eddie would have like manually did, I don't think. But anyway, it's one of Eddie Van Halen's Frankenstrat guitars he gifted to the late Mountain guitarist Leslie West, and it sold for auction for $50,000. The guitar went on the block yesterday, 11 April, at Heritage Auctions, Guitars and Musical Instruments Signature Event. So according to the auction house, the guitar is believed to have been used by Eddie as a backup guitar. So not verified, but believed, on Van Halen's 1984 and 5150 tours during the mid-'80s. It's covered in various nicks and metal coatings wear, so it's been used. After receiving it in the mid-'80s, West gave the guitar to his bodyguard in 1990, who brought it to auction. So, created by guitarist inventor Steve Ripley, the instrument began life as a Kramer Striker with a Floyd Rose trim, has a custom-made rosewood neck and dark hue, noted by the auction house to be extremely rare, as Van Halen favored light-colored necks. So, yeah, that is true. It's a very dark neck. The spray-painted finish was striped by hand. Oh, interesting. Its white painted stripes have been tinged with light yellow from age and extensive exposure to cigarette smoke. Guess you could say that about a lot of Eddie's stuff.
Oh, thanks, yeah.
Yeah. So the other one that sold at that same Heritage Auctions was the guitar we just talked about from Kirk Hammett, and Michael Jackson's Flying V from the music video for Scream. I didn't even know there was one there. Last December, 3 of Eddie Van Halen's guitars sold at auction for $422,000 combined. And Wolfgang, of course, he criticized the sale, alleging the event was taking advantage of his father's passing. Well, yeah, you can't say it. You can't dispute that, because that's most likely exactly what happened. But when somebody passes away, you know, all their stuff goes up in price, and yeah, that's kind of what people do, you know. So yeah, so that's all the auction stuff for today. So that's for what you ever wanted to know about auctions for the last 2 weeks. So next up we have from Kemper. Ooh, what do they have? Let's see. So Kemper has a new Kemper cabinet. So this Kemper cabinet, though, the other one they had was a passive cabinet, the original one they came out with last, I believe it was beginning of last year. Now this one has hit, and it's a powered cabinet. So people have been waiting for this one because there's a lot of unpowered Kempers out there. Like the Kemper Stage doesn't even come in a powered version. The other Kemper rack and the Kemper head, you know, the lunchbox style one, they come in both a powered and an unpowered version, but they're about a $400 difference between the powered and the unpowered version. So a lot of people, you know, I mean, I guess if you already have a ton of cabinets laying around, that you would buy the powered version. If not, then a lot of people just bought the unpowered, especially if they're just going, like I would use it here at home, or if you're on stage and you're just going through PA or something like that, then you wouldn't need it. But so the powered cabinet is here finally, and it looks pretty cool. So we'll go over it just a little bit. So a year ago, Kemper announced it would be offering a powered version of the passive cabinet to expand its speaker and cab range, accompanying its Profiler series. It's taken longer as anticipated, but that's kind of the Kemper way. They test everything and, you know, really engineer the heck out of it. Kemper has finally brought it to market, rated at 200 watts. The active power cabinet houses a cone speaker, so that's that Kemper cone. So that's the same speaker that's in there, that's in the passive cabinet. Incorporates the imprint technology that gives you a choice of 19 classic guitar speaker sounds. So that's kind of the uniqueness of this thing. So let's see here. So it's designed to work in harmony with all Kemper Profiler systems, including the head, rack, and stage. The Kemper states that it will give you one of the best sounding amp in the room sounds, but you can also run it in ultra linear full range mode if you'd prefer a more standard PA powered monitor tone. So yeah, so I'm not sure exactly how all that works with the Kemper, but I would assume if you're doing it in a, you know, in a normal mode, I guess you would probably disable the cabinet sim in the Kemper, but don't quote me on that. And if you're doing the PA powered mode, kind of the full range mode, then you would use the cabinet simulation in the Kemper. But again, don't quote me on that, but I would assume that's what you'd do. But they say their full range mode adds some sweetening and directivity parameters to let you tweak the sound to your tastes. So without actually hearing one, and I haven't seen any videos on it yet as far as reviews or demos or things like that. I'm sure they're out there. I just haven't looked for them yet. But also what's really cool about this thing is it will lean back. So it's got a built-in kind of stand thing for it, so you can lean it back, so you know, kind of like, so it can be a monitor for you on stage if you want to set it out in front of you, or even at home if you want to tilt it back a little bit to get that sound up to you, you can do that. So that's pretty cool. It does have a volume kind of control on front and on off button on the front, and I did not see any pictures of the back of it, so I can't tell you exactly what is incorporated there, but obviously it probably has some either XLRs, or I would assume a pair of XLRs, maybe a pair of 1/4 inch ones to go from your Kemper into the cabinet. And then maybe, I don't know if there's anything going out of the cabinet if you wanted to plug 2 in, or whether you would just go left and right from your Kemper to a left and right cabinet. I would assume that's probably what you do. So anyway, That's about all I know. Except for, U.S. shipping issues. So they said the new unit should be shipping out immediately. If you're in the USA, you may have a slightly longer wait. Kemper says it's facing a few supply chain issues in the U.S. And here they are quoted saying, due to some logistical challenges at the harbor, the exact delivery date of the U.S. warehouse is still a bit of a moving target. The cabinets will be on the road soon. They will keep us posted. So their distribution pretty much hub in the United States is in Colorado. So, yeah. Well, I mean, at least they picked kind of a central location. So the power cabinet comes with a dust cover, a power cord, and a foldable speaker stand for angling the speaker. And it will retail in the United States for $789. So it's a little bit steep, but there's a lot of functionality in there. And yeah. So now, another thing with it too is I am not sure if you can use the powered cat in a different like profile or effects processor that you have, like like the Quad Cortex or the Helix or the Axe effects. So not sure if it would work in that way with the imprint. I probably wouldn't work with the imprints, but you may be able to use it in that full range mode. So if it's really good, maybe it's worth the $800.
If it's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's that. I don't know. Okay, let's see, what else do we want to talk about? We got a bunch more news, so let's go into this next one here. So next one comes from Line 6, and they have a new Helix 3.1 update. And I haven't updated my Helix yet, but I'm going to do that. I do have a Helix here also in the studio, so I'll get that updated soon. So they add the Mandarin rocker amp effects and better oversampling. So even more effects and new amp mode, along with some tweak, should make Helix sound even better than before. I'm just reading the article, guys, so nothing big here. So let's see what is actually added. So the latest Line 6 Helix firmware adds the Mandarin rocker amp. It's based on the Orange Rocker Verb 100 Mark III, as well as 5 new effects. The first effect is the Ratatouille distortion, which is based on the 1984 Proco Rat. Thought they already had one that was like a Proco Rat, maybe not. And the Retro Reel, the Line 6 original effect based on an analog tape machine. Then there's a Euclidean delay based on Euclidean algorithms to create multi-tap patterns by setting the length of the pattern and the number of taps. Sounds pretty straightforward. Finally, Line 6 adds 2 new reverbs, a dynamic hall and hot springs. Having more reverb options is, I guess it's always welcome. So the increased oversampling throughout the Helix Floor, Helix Rack Control, Helix LT, Helix Native, HX Effects, HX Stomp, and HX Stomp XL. Man, they have a whole line of Helix stuff. Should benefit from the higher fidelity, fewer aliasing artifacts, and smoother decay trail thanks to increased oversampling with the 3.1 firmware. And let's see, they've been optimized to accommodate the improvements without increasing DSP usage. So that's pretty cool. Good one on them to, give you a little bit better fidelity without compromising, the power of it at all. Let's see, customizable stomp switches and snapshot switches. They now have customizable foot switches. I thought it did before. I guess not. Which brings them both up to the same standard as the rest. Oh, this is for the HX Stomp. And the HX Stomp XL now have customizable foot switches. So the rest of the family had it before. Like I have the Helix rack with the whatever you call it, the Helix floor foot switch thingy. It has like 12 foot switches on it. So that's mine, but it's pretty much the exact same functionality that you would get in the standard Helix or Helix LT. Let's see. So they can now use snapshot switches feature as well. So that's cool. Okay. The tuner screen now has a new trails parameter. When set to on, the delay repeats and reverb's decay continue to ring out. Wait a minute. Even the looper keeps running when the tuner is engaged. Line 6 has also added new parameters to many of the effects introduced in the previous 3.0 firmware update. Oh, okay. So I was just trying to read that and kind of, figure out what they meant by that. But so you can go ahead and use your tuner and stuff while on stage or whatever. If your guitar goes out of tune, you're not going to affect the tone that you're playing currently while trying to tune your guitar. So if you need to tune on the fly like that, yeah, you won't screw up.
No one will notice.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. So YouTuber Jonathan Cordy, or Jonathan, yeah, and Cordy, I don't know. Anyway, I watch him a lot. He's really good, so go check out his YouTube channel. Was, as usual, one of the first to upload a good overview of the new 3.1 firmware update. It's worth checking out, so go check him out. It's really good, and they do mention him on the article. Just if you're watching live, you can see that, or just watching the replay. Let's see. Yeah, and as usual, back everything up on your Helix before you do any updates. Just pretty much recommended anytime you do an update on one of these things. Like I went over it on the Quad Cortex. Do an update, even though I got kind of criticized, or somebody was criticizing the Quad Cortex in the comments because I said that you should back up, and they're like, "Oh, why would you back up? It's garbage, blah blah blah. You shouldn't have to back up." I'm like, yes, you should back up all the time.
Just common sense on that.
It's just kind of common sense, yeah. Because you never know. Anything can happen. You can lose power in the middle of an update. Anything can happen where you could potentially risk losing your stuff. So, all right. So that's that one. So I keep going back to main view, just so. Mainly so why I'm doing this is not just so you guys can see me because I'm not that pretty, but so I can switch to the next article and you guys don't have to see me doing that, and it gives you a little change up. Yeah. Exactly. So, and I gotta take a sip of coffee anyway, so let's go to the next article here. So yeah, this is turning into more of a news segment, isn't it? Just kind of pure news.
That's okay.
Which is okay.
That's
yeah.
Sometimes, we've been gone for a while, so
that's true.
A lot that's happened, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, and before I forget, please, if you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. It really does help. And you can hit subscribe down at the bottom and like and hit the little bell icon so you know when the next video gets posted on YouTube. Not just for the live stuff, but for for all the videos that we put out there. Yeah. That's great. And the podcast. So if you're listening to this as a podcast, go to our YouTube. You can go to our YouTube and check out the live version because we talk about a lot of stuff in the articles. And it's kind of the reason why we did this. We don't really care if we have 100 people watching this when we do it. But the whole idea is while we're going through the podcast and we're doing these news articles and stuff, and we like to, and we're kind of showing, I'm looking at the articles, but you guys can't see what we're looking at. And so, it kind of helps out a little bit visually to see, like, if we're saying, "Ooh, that guitar looks great," and you guys are like, I don't know what the heck you're talking about. So you can see it also. So if you're listening to the podcast and you're like, "Wow, geez, I wish I could see that," well, now you kind of can, and that's kind of the purpose of this, not just to see us doing our thing, but really to bring you into it a little bit more and have it a little more interactive so you can see what we're doing. So.
Yeah.
So please like and subscribe and check out our YouTube channel. And check out our podcast. Boy, it's a long way to go. All right. So next article is here. And we talked about this before, the Fender Mustang Micro. So this is the plug-in little amp thing that you just plug directly into your guitar, throw some headphones, plug in some headphones to it, and you're just jamming wherever you want to go. And I did see a YouTube video on this also from Henning Pauly and did a 40 some odd minute video on this. I didn't think it would take that long to describe this thing, but there's a lot to it, and I didn't realize it. So I think they're comparing it in this article here to Nux's or Nuix or whatever, however you say their name. Yeah, their Mighty Plug, which is a cheaper version of this that has probably some more effects and amps and things like that, and an app that you can use and all that stuff. So this so let's talk about this real quick. The Mustang Micro is designed to offer a portable practice solution. Comes with 12 amp models plus 12 onboard DSP effects to play through. Fender has included a few neat little features. So let's go over, very briefly what those are. So Mustang Micro is based on the Mustang amp series of tones. So you kind of, if you're familiar with the Mustang amps, these tones come directly from that, which is pretty cool. And I did have a Mustang amp for a little bit to try out and play around with, and yeah, I agree. The tones that are based on the Fender classic amps and stuff like that are awesome. They're really, really good. The thing I didn't dig about it as much is the high gain sounds and stuff are not really up to par with some of the other modelers out there, but that's not really Fender's thing. I mean, I think they threw them in there because they're like, hey, we got to have something high gain in here to attract those kind of players, because they want to try to market to everybody. I didn't feel like the high gain ones were really all that great. I mean, they're okay, but in a pinch they're good, but the models based on the Fender amps are really good. So that's kind of little caveat there, but so let's see. So the 12 amp models from the Mustang series, as well as 12 effect combinations to play with, including modulation, overdrive, compression, stereo delays, and reverbs. There's also an onboard EQ to tweak your tones. Let's see. So that's a lot they're saying in this little compact unit. So Bluetooth and connectivity. So this is kind of a big one. You can even play along with your favorite backing tracks or instruction videos using the built-in Bluetooth audio connection, which is awesome. So the way Bluetooth has been implemented includes audio video sync. So your tuition videos should play back just as you'd expect with no lag or delays, despite a small size. It also has a built-in multi-purpose USB-C socket. So this is pretty cool. It recharges the internal lithium-ion battery, which you would expect that's what that socket would do, and that's probably all it would do. So Fender says you can expect up to 4 hours on a charge, but you can also use it to update the software, and you can use it to record your output to a DAW on your PC and Mac. So it kind of acts as an audio interface in a way as well. So that makes it even more useful.
Functional.
Yeah, very functional. So you can, for traveling musicians or even at home, if you're sitting around and you're wanting to kind of not go through all well, I guess it's not that difficult to turn stuff on and start playing. But I guess mainly for maybe traveling folks who want to save an idea or something into their DAW, as they're just kind of noodling around. So the audio output is a 1/8 inch stereo headphone jack, while the jack plug can be set to various angles, so it should fit pretty much any guitar model. And I've seen it, like Henning Pauly's video, he has it going into a Les Paul style, he has it going to a Strat style guitar, so those inputs are a little bit different and it fits well in all of those. So now they're saying, what do you want to do? You want to go with the Mustang or the Mighty Plug is what they're saying here. So the Nux Mighty Plug adds deeper layer of functionality, like I said, via an app, as well as IRs, so you can also use your own IRs as well. That has more effects, and it also has drum tracks, and it costs less than a Mustang Micro. But Fender's new amp will get you some great sounds of the caliber that made the Mustang a bestseller. So, and as I say here, it says Fender on it. Well, yes, it does. So, so this is going to go about for $100, and yeah, so not too bad. And I think Henning Pauly's video was really good. So I think you guys should go check that one out. It's It's really pretty awesome. And, you know, just so you guys can see some shots of it if you're watching on YouTube. So it's pretty neat. It looks pretty cool and it sounds great. So go check out Henning Pauly's. And he starts off the video by saying he's had a bunch. I have one. I have one of the Vox little ones. I think they were one of the first ones to come out with these things. And then pretty much everybody else came out with one. I don't know if they were first. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't. But anyway, it sounds okay. It doesn't sound great. It makes sound when you play your guitar. You know what I mean? I mean, you're not going to write home about it and say, "Oh my God, this is the best tone I ever heard." And you might not get that with the Mustang one either. But based on his video and what he said, is he basically said a very similar thing. Like he's tried a bunch of these things out, and he just thought, yeah, it makes sound, and that's it. But otherwise, the sound was garbage. And this one, he actually gave his approval and thought it was really good. So take that and run with it. But I would suggest checking out his video. It's very cool. All right. So that was that news article. Let's see. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Not to be outdone by Fender and doing their thing, and by a lot of other companies here that have like micro amps out. So this is a little bit different, but it's Harley Benton, so you know it's going to be inexpensive, right, Janae? Yeah,
yes,
not cheap.
Always use the right word.
It's cheap cost-wise, and yeah, there you go.
Won't break your budget, hopefully.
Yeah, exactly. So here's this article. So Harley Benton Airborne Go, it's called. It's a wireless desktop modeling amp for only 139 euros. So wireless transmitter, receiver, Bluetooth, drum tracks, mobile app, FX are all included here in this little amp. And Janae, you can't see this, but I'm looking at it right now.
Well, I can see something little.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're watching it on YouTube?
I'm watching live.
Oh, okay.
It's little on my screen. So.
Okay. Yeah, so it ships with a transmitter receiver for freedom of movement while playing. Does it also, let's see. Yeah, I guess, I don't know if this thing's battery powered. I guess we'll go through. I didn't really read this article. I did read it last week when I thought we were going to do a podcast, and that didn't happen. Let's see. So it includes functions like Bluetooth streaming effects and a drum machine. There's even a free app for editing the sounds, which is pretty cool. So I guess you could say this might be going up against, you know, I guess every one of these other things, like Line 6 has one out there. Yamaha has that one that they have that doesn't come with a wireless transmitter, among others. You know, the what was that other one that, oh gosh, who's the company that made that? Whatever. Anyway, it's similar to other ones on the market. Let's just leave it at that. So it says they did not skimp on features. The Airborne Go is a compact desktop amp with an integrated wireless 2.4 gigahertz transmitter receiver, amp modeling, effects, drum track, and a mobile app. The wood frame houses a 3-inch speaker with 3 watts if you want to play without headphones. Has 3 classic amp models, as well as 12 onboard effects. Let's see. Bluetooth. So the Airborne Go is accompanied by a mobile Android and iOS app that allows advanced tone editing, so you can easily sculpt your tones and save your favorites. You can stream audio from your phone via Bluetooth and play along with your favorite tracks. Another big plus is the wireless, plug and play transmitter and receiver system. So it's bundled its existing Airborne 2.4 instrument transmitter, which costs about $70 on its own and can run for 6 hours before needing a charge. Transmitter can recharge using the amp's USB port, so that's cool. And all in all, it's a good solution, they say. And there's the top of the amp, if anybody can really see that over this, which looks kind of cool, I guess. Yeah, gives you everything you kind of need at quick, for quick functionality there. Apart from the USB port, the rest of the built-in I/O consists of an input jack, audio line out, a headphone output, and a 9-volt DC jack. The amp has controls for gain, volume, tone, delay, reverb, as well as a drum play stop button and a tap tempo. And there's a quick view of the transmitter that they have. There's like an on-off button and probably like a sync button, I'm assuming is the other button there.
So that thing's like a different setup from yours. It lays flat, it looks like.
Well, it's on a hinge.
Oh.
So if you were to go into a Strat style guitar, you know, it would go in, kind of slide in that way, so you can see the top of the unit right there.
Okay.
So you'd be able to see that this would go into the guitar and this would be laying on top, basically. And like on a Les Paul or something, you can just pop that out so it's straight. And
well, because yours is like big and bulky, right?
Which one? Oh, the Line 6 one that I have?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's just a straight, hangs out the guitar. Yeah.
Yeah, just gotta be careful. Yeah.
Right. So that's
kind of a neat setup.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of along the same lines as the Mustang one that we saw. It's really exactly the same form factor as this one.
I couldn't see the other one really good on my screen.
Oh, okay. So. Well, it's pretty much the same look to it for the most part. It's got a lot more functionality, and it's not just a wireless transmitter. Well, it isn't. That one isn't a wireless transmitter. It's just a built-in, thing. So, but same form factor, different function. Let's put it that way. Okay, so they're talking about the perfect practice amp here. So it has an onboard drum machine, as we said, a metronome, and the ability to jam wirelessly with backing tracks. The 3-watt 3-inch speaker is the same bracket as some of the desktop amps from Yamaha, Blackstar, and Boss. Some other ones I wanted to say. And should be enough for home and office use. And it costs just 140 euros. It's a much lower price point than comparable amps with a similar feature set. The back of the amp says powered by Nooks, so we can assume that the maker of a well-priced, good-sounding gear like the Mighty Plug and the NG30 was involved in its design or manufacture. I'm assuming they probably manufactured it and slapped like that, like Harley Benton name on it. Is what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So if the quality of the amp sounds and effects are up to scratch, the Harley Benton Airborne Go should be a serious contender for your home or office. So that's pretty sweet, man. So that's that article. So that actually looks pretty cool. So the Yamaha one was, a couple $100. It was almost like $500 or $600, I think, for the 30 amp one or 30 watt one that has like the wireless and all that stuff, and the two, the stereo, I guess I should say, 1/4-inch outputs and all that on it. So yeah, so something like that, I guess the Harley Benton one is a lot more affordable. Now there are cheaper options out there, obviously, but or not cheaper than that, I don't think. But there's cheaper options than the Yamaha one I was just talking about. But there's still a few $100, and this comes out at less than $200. Less than 150. So that's pretty darn cool. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna skip over to this one. All right, next one. Here we go. So this is the IK Multimedia Amplitube Mesa Boogie triple rectifier head. You can get it for free, and you don't have to do anything really to get this. And I got it, and I own a license to Amplitube 4, which kind of translates to Amplitube 5 a little bit. So I kind of get the same stuff in Amplitube 5 that I had in 4. But I don't own really a license for it. Like a paid kind of thing. I just been collecting gear for it based on things like this. And so you can get a Mesa Boogie triple rectifier head and a new series of VIP presets for free. Offer is valid until May 2nd, 2021. Today is the 18th of April. And so that's pretty cool. So you get some nice high gain amp tones for your DAW, and there you go. And it's even available, obviously, in a standalone version, so you don't have to do it through your DAW if you just want to play. So let's talk about this. The original Mesa rectifiers came out back in '89. Soon became the favorite among players looking for high gain tones. The triple rectifier version is based around 3 channels with an 8-mode operation and varying levels of tube saturation, as well as virtual switchable tube solid state rectifier solution or section. And until May 2nd, you can grab a free copy of that. The process is simple and it's free. All you need to download and install the Amplitude 5 custom shop, then launch the custom shop and use the restore my purchases function. You'll then receive the triple rectifier plus another 39 amps and effects will be yours to keep. So that's all you have to do. It's very simple. So if you're running a PC or Mac DAW and are looking for realistic guitar amp tones, Amplitude 5 package is worth checking out. It is worth checking out. It's actually pretty cool. Sounds pretty good. And yeah, and they're officially licensed with a lot of different amps and effects, like this one, like the triple rectifier, which is very cool. So the software offers a wealth of great virtual guitar rigs, include amps, cabs, microphones, and effects. And yeah, so it's very, very cool stuff. And you don't lose anything except hard drive space. So, you can't go wrong with this, really. And they do this kind of thing every so often. So you can build up your collection without really spending a dime. Of course, you're never going to get everything that they have on offer unless you buy it. But this is a great way to add a little bit more to your collection there. So, yeah, pretty cool stuff. Oh, Janae, I think you have an article.
I do. I was just going to say, I sent you something to the Guitars and Gear 19
Okay, hang on. Let me, I went back to my normal screen. Let me go to my email and bring that article up. And so while you're talking about it, I can show people what this is.
I got to talk about it? Okay.
Well, yeah.
It just looked really cool.
Unless you want me to, but you should talk about it because,
I have no idea who this guy is, but he must be somebody.
I'm not sure who he is either, to be honest.
Yeah.
With you. But,
samurai guitarist.
All right, here we go.
And it gives his name too further in it.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, Steve San Onatera.
Onatera, it's down here. This. Yeah.
So he bought the Pizza Hut promotional guitar, electric guitar.
Wow.
And, they say, what is it? They say Seymour Duncan.
Let's see.
Has something to do with it. I'm not really savvy on your guitar stuff.
No.
My screen just froze.
Your screen just froze? Or mine did?
Well, mine. No, mine. I'm trying to scroll through the article and mine froze.
Oh, there's a big picture of it. There you go.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, it almost looks banjo-ish, but it's because it's round. Like a pizza.
It's kind of dumb, but yeah.
It is. But it says there's only 3 of them made.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. And he got it for $350. So they say that's the price of 24 hand-tossed pepperoni lovers pizza from the fast food chain.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Crazy. Okay, so here, let me go over specs then on this thing real quick. Crazy. Okay. Listed by a private seller in Minnesota, the delicious-looking guitar was built by Pizza Hut as part of a promotional run. And it does feature a good bit of specs here. It's a poplar body, maple neck with satin finish and a rosewood fretboard. The pickups will sound as good as it tastes. Get it? Sporting a pair of split pole humbucking pickups, which in Reverb's hashtags are anything to go by. Could be a set of Seymour Duncans. Let's see. Pizza Hut certainly did. Yeah, despite their inexperience in guitars, Pizza Hut certainly did themselves proud, finishing guitar with sealed tuners, black hardware, and tunematic bridge and stop bar tailpiece. So the guitar did not get a factory run. And so Onotera now owns a big slice of guitar gear history. Let's see. So did you say that there were 3? I didn't see it.
Yeah, it says right under that. Big slice of guitar gear history. Supposedly only 3 Pizza Hut promo guitars.
Okay.
Yeah, supposedly. So there's no guarantees, but...
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, for $350, you could have owned a pizza-shaped guitar.
Wow. So yeah. So I wonder if he's going to come out with like a pizza song or something.
Yeah, I don't know. They say
Yeah.
something about a cheesy power ballad.
Let me see
Yeah.
if I can get up. I can't make that any bigger. I don't want to know what that says on the pickups. Must be Seymour. I wonder if that says Seymour Duncan. Looks like it. Yeah.
No.
I think it does say Seymour Duncan on there. Yeah.
Well, if it's hashtagged in the reverb thing, I would guess it would have to be verified.
So that's pretty yeah. I don't know.
There's my odd news.
Good, I guess. But it's funny, it even has the the strap little button things on there too to hook the strap up to it and all that.
Wow.
So yeah. Got a toggle switch on there. Looks like a one volume control. I don't know what this dial is. Maybe that's tone. Maybe that's volume and a toggle switch. Maybe the three-way toggle. So yeah. Why not? Odd. Yeah, that's very interesting. So yeah, so maybe we'll see this in a future video by the Samurai guitarist. And I don't know who the Samurai guitarist is, but
well, if you scroll up to the top, it shows a picture of him.
No, I see him.
Yeah, other than that, no idea.
I have no idea if what he plays or how he sounds or any of that stuff. So I'm sure anybody out there knows who this guy is, but we'll have to check him out. Cool. Yeah. Very nice, Janae.
Thanks.
So yeah, that's cool. The Samurai guitarist. Good.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. We talked about the amplitude thing. I think I just got one more article that I think I want to talk about. And so this relates to the quad cortex, and so somebody came out with a skin and protection stuff for the quad cortex. It's like when you're on stage or just when you want to bling it up a little bit at home or whatever and put a skin on it, you can do that now. And so let me bring up this page here. So this comes from Gear by Seba, Ceba. You can see that here. And that's the website too. It's gearbyseba.com, all one word. And so he's saying that he's a one-man show for the most part and allow 2 to 4 weeks to fulfill any orders that he does do. Let's see. So for Quad Cortex products, the delivery and fulfillment will not be until around May 15th, 2021. So he said it's really highly popular. So you can do international or USA. And right here kind of shows, he does have a video on how to put these on your Quad Cortex if you do get it. And it's cool. And you can see kind of over here, if you see my mouse moving around, he does have these like kind of plexiglass kind of overlays that you can lay over the top, which will protect the Quad Cortex screen and the hardware a little bit. So he does go over that a little bit as well in that video. But if you click on these links here, you can see, so the screen protectors, screen guards and or screen protectors starting from $39. And so what you can get is the screen guard only, which is this piece that's up here, if you see my mouse moving. So that's that clear piece that covers the screen. Basically, the top half of the Quad Cortex is covered by that. And it's on kind of like these hinge things that he says will last for, I think, somewhere around 1 million times of lifting it off or something, which you may or may not care about.
It's a lot of testing.
I don't know if he tested it, but maybe that's just the specs on the, whatever this adhesive flexi stuff is he used.
Oh.
But it's a strong cast plexiglass. It has the tape and hinge kit included, and that's $45 for the guard set. The top skin only is $40, so just the skin to cover the top. The skin with the screen guard set, so that's these two together, is $75. The bottom protection kit is $39. Let's see. Yeah, so you can go through it. You can get a sun shield also, is $119. So you can see, so there's some kind of pics there of, there's the hinge closed. You can also get these different colored marker things for the different inputs and stuff. So if you want to mark them with different colors to see them visually, you can do that. Let's see, that's kind of like a carbon fiber skin that's on the bottom and around the sides. So you can do, skin it any which way you want. So it has a couple pictures, and there's the sun shield and splash guard. So that'll kind of shield your screen and your quad cortex if you need it to. And I think that closes over the top as well to protect it while you're, moving it around and things like that. So that's pretty cool stuff. And you can see there's the Helix that they show with the screen guard. And there it is closed up. So pretty cool. Yeah. And they do have a bunch of colors and stuff too. So you can click on this link here and let me make it bigger here. So you can see all the colors that you can get for the skins. So there's satin, there's color flip, they call it, matte colors, gloss colors, and of course you can get the carbon fiber, the matrix black. You can get some camo kind of shadow black stuff. Just lots of textured stuff there, brushed gold. Yeah, kind of cool. So you can pretty much get whatever you want. I mean, you're gonna pay a little bit for it, but if you really want a skin for your quad cortex, you don't like the basic kind of gunmetal color that it comes in, you can skin it any which way you want and get some protection for it if you feel like you need it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So there you go.
So if you didn't spend all that extra money to get it done in a specific color, now you can.
Well, you wouldn't be able to do that for the quad cortex anyway. You can't get different colors from the manufacturer. It's just one color.
No, because you were thinking of doing the red, weren't you?
Oh no, you're talking about the Rev.
Oh,
yeah.
They all look alike.
You're thinking of the Rev, yeah. So when we talk about the YouTube video of the Rev Generator 120 Mark III, you gotta say the whole name. I'll talk about that a little bit and how you can order it. You can special order and get different colored, different Tolex colors and things like that. So, I'll talk. So the quad cortex though, it just comes in one SKU, and that's just that. You can't get different custom colors or anything like that. It's basically carved out of one piece of aluminum unibody kind of thing. So unibody, I don't know if that's right or not.
It is now.
Yeah. So do you have anything else, Janae? No? Okay. So
no, I haven't searched anything else.
No, that's cool. So I think it's be a little bit of a shorter podcast today. We've been going for almost an hour, so not really that short. So wow, time flies when you're really having fun, huh?
Yeah.
So let's get out of the news then. Here we go. And that was the news as we see it. Or it's not as we see it. It's pretty much how gosh, what site do we usually use? Gear News for the most part. How they see it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast / video / live stream today. We definitely enjoy doing this. I definitely do. And I think Janae does too, even though she may not admit it all the time. It's fun to bring it to you. And just remember, on our YouTube channel, please like and subscribe and check us out on other videos and stuff. I do have kind of a series I started with Quad Cortex that will continue also. So, we're going to do captures with Quad Cortex. There's a lot we didn't cover yet that we're going to cover. And of course the Rev videos are coming. So yeah, just give me time. I'm almost a one-man show here. So I do have Janae and Dave, but Janae helps every once in a while, but Dave's pretty much not around us a lot. So so we're kind of with everything else in life, it takes a little bit of time. So stay tuned. More content is coming, and we'll try not to miss another podcast. But things do
No
happen.
guarantees.
Yeah, I think that was the first. Was that the first week we missed?
Well, last week, yeah.
Last
Yeah,
week?
because
Yeah.
last time we had something happen, we caught up later in the week.
Yeah, that's true. So we haven't missed one up to that point. So apologies for that, but we will keep bringing them to you. So and with that, is that all we got?
That's it as far as I know. Oh, anything about NAMM? I thought there was some kind of sign up for
for the
people
summer
people that are interested in doing the virtual NAMM thing.
Yeah, let me see.
If you're like not a business, but a entity of some sort.
Yeah, so I think Summer NAMM is back with vaccinations on the rise of businesses reopening across Nashville. So it's going to be in Nashville this Summer NAMM. And I think it's always in Nashville for Summer NAMM. I look forward to creating a safe and sensible gathering to reunite our community for the first time in 18 months. I'm reading this from the NAMM website. Learning more about opportunities for your brand to rekindle relationships with buyers and media, reconnect with colleagues and friends, and restart our industry. So it looks like they are going to have like regular kind of physical NAMM this year for Summer NAMM. And let's see, this year's Summer NAMM will be an impactful event that will look a bit different than years past. So they're having a business-focused show experience with new opportunities, new show dates, and formats. So I'm not sure this is going to be open to the public. So it would probably be open to, well, normally it's not open to the public either. It's normally like influencers, things like that, and industry folks that are going to see manufacturers. So, so you're getting like the Sweetwater reps and stuff like that are going to see what's new from Fender or whatever trade show, So let me bring up the screen. I should be showing you guys this actually. So it is July 15th and 16th at Music City Center in Nashville, Tennessee. You can reserve your booth. Let's see if they do have attend Summer NAMM. Let's see what they show for this. So you can still attend if you'd like. So yeah, you can. Registration has not opened yet, but you can put in your name and who you are, like what best describes you in your profession, and get notification when registration begins. So maybe we'll throw our name in there and see if we can't make it down there July 15th and 16th if we're allowed to go. Let's see.
We'll all be vaccinated, so.
Yeah. Show info and policies. So yeah, I guess they are going to, let's see, reimagined floor format. So there's going to be designated entrances to manage capacity limits. There's going to have more space between exhibitors. Hand sanitizers are going to be located throughout. Daily hall cleaning and disinfecting. They're going to have exhibitor instrument cleaning practices will be in place. NAMM is going to encourage open booth designs. So nothing closed up in a little room. Let's see, they're going to have physical distance seating, regular cleaning and disinfecting for any of their educator sessions and all that. Face covering, I'm assuming, will be required at all times while inside the center. And physical distancing, floor markings will be in place to meet the health department recommendations, and you'll be expected to avoid physical contact in meetings and when networking. So that's what they're having in place for, the health and safety part with all the COVID restrictions and things like that. But hopefully by July, I know I have my COVID shot scheduled for next Monday, which is awesome. Sunday.
Don't miss it.
Oh, I thought it was. Well,
no,
it's in all of our notifications.
All of our calendars.
Yeah. So I'm scheduled for that. So that's awesome. Pennsylvania opened it up to everybody over the age of, I think, 17?
16 and up.
16 and up. Okay.
Yep.
So other states are doing the same thing. So you'll be able to get your COVID shot if you're an adult person. And of course, kids are still, I think they were still testing vaccines and trial runs and stuff like that. So I'd expect within the next month or two, you'll start seeing some more news on that stuff too. But it's good. It's good news. And maybe we'll actually be able to get back to some semblance of normal sooner than later. But with all that said, yeah, sounds awesome. And yeah, there you go. So yeah. So now with that, thanks, Janae. I didn't even think about talking about that, but yeah.
Sorry, it was last minute.
That's actually really good. That's actually really good news. Because I know I'm anxious to really get back to seeing a lot of the stuff from previous, like how NAMM was set up before. I know Summer NAMM is usually not that big of an event as opposed to Winter NAMM is usually the big thing, and Summer NAMM is usually not that exciting. Maybe this year's Summer NAMM will be a lot more. I think people are itching to get back into that realm, and maybe it'll be a bigger event than it was previous. So we'll see how it goes, and go from there. So awesome. All right. So thanks again, and that kind of wraps us up. You can reach us, like I said before, guitarsandgear19@gmail.com. Next live stream, I'll have something up at the bottom of the screen right there. And so you guys will be able to see that. And of course, you can support the channel if you do want to check us out on our YouTube or on our podcast side of things. You can do that at guitarsandgear.podbean.com. You want to check us out there online, or obviously wherever you guys listen to podcasts, we're pretty much there. So you can listen to this in the car or traveling around town, or just sitting in your living room and trying to avoid contact with your family. Or if you want to support us another way, you can go to patreon.com/guitarsandgear, and you can support us there as well. We appreciate that. And of course, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I think I beat that like a dead horse today.
Yep.
Wow, there was a piece of fuzz that came down right in front of the camera. That was cool. Anyway, you can support us by just clicking subscribe and liking us. That would be great, or liking this video. That would be awesome. It does actually help because we can't really do much for monetization on YouTube, until we get a certain subscriber count and all that stuff, and watch hours and things like that. So spread the word. If you like what you're hearing and seeing, spread the word. We'd love to have you guys on board. So there you go. That's it. And just so you know, our podcasts usually go about an hour and 15 minutes on average. So, you can skip around and things like that if you want, but it's really about just us talking about stuff and having a little bit of fun with it. And that's it. So there you go. So thanks a lot, guys. And like I said, we appreciate you guys listening and watching, and we will talk to you guys next week. Yay. All right. Thanks a lot. Take care. Stay safe. All right. Bye-bye. Guitars and Gear out.